Good afternoon, everyone. When Kavita ma'am asked me to talk about something relating to AI, since legal field is my domain, I thought I would give some insights about AI regulations and legal measures to you all. So I'll be presenting my screen in a while. Yeah. So why do you all think we need regulations, basically? Any ideas? Can anyone share their insights? From the picture I'm displaying, can you tell what
For
is
law and order.
To
from the
regulate the behavior of AI.
okay. So whenever there is no regulations, people tend to behave on their own accord. So in these pictures, you see a classroom without a teacher or anybody to control them. And in the right side, we see a picture wherein there is a teacher and they're actually following some rules and regulations. So that is what is happening. So when you have regulations, you tend to act in a way that is okay to all, that is going to benefit everyone. Next slide. So when we talk about legal regulations, we are going to be considering these points. So what is going to actually affect if AI is not being regulated properly? What is going to be affected is these are the major factors. First one is privacy and data protection. So when we're using, for example, let's take ChatGPT. We are all very eager to understand what this chat box can actually do. So we all logged into it, we utilized it. So what are we giving? What are we providing the AI? We are providing a lot of data. So when we logged into it, it actually asked us to log in through our email ID. So we are providing the email ID, we are providing our own passwords. So these are all data we are providing. So somewhere in between this, we are exhibiting ourselves to a system which, if it is not regulated, is going to be what to say? It's going to be a threat to us. So this privacy has to be maintained. That is the first point. So second, going to safety and security. If at all an AI software or system is being utilized, and if it malfunctions, or if it is going to if it is not going to be properly maintained, what is going to happen is our data is going to get leaked outside. So we are living in a technology based society. So whenever our data is being leaked, or if it is being hacked, it is going to be a great threat to us. So going to the next point, bias and discrimination. This is where AI is being developed just like the human beings. So coming to think of it, we are just thinking it is a robot who is going to actually be concerned about what it is saying. But actually there are cases wherein people get humiliated by AI's reply or how it is treating them. So that is where these bias and discriminations come. So even when you are developing an AI, you have to consider certain rules and regulations, and there are certain regulations relating to bias itself. So the skin tone of people, how it recognizes a human being, how an AI is going to read or recognize a person is also very important. So when we are developing the AI system itself, we are going to include some algorithms that will not see bias in a person, or it will not discriminate human to human. For example, it cannot, if you ask, can a female do this, an AI, if it replies that no, only male members can do this, female cannot do that like that if it is going to discriminate in a way, it is going to be violating certain rights of the humans. So while developing the system itself, we are going to develop it with these algorithms. And coming to accountability and transparency is where we are providing so much data to it. We are giving so many inputs. So what we are expecting from the AI is that its whole programming is transparent to us. Whatever it is collecting, for example, if you're giving some data, you should be aware of what you are giving. So if you are asking AI system or developer that what are all the details they are getting from you, they should be transparent enough to provide you that details, and that is where you can hold them accountable if any of your rights are being violated. And if you want to claim or if you want to raise charges against them, then who are you going to hold accountable? So that a person who can take responsibility for it has to be also recognized. So this is all going to happen only if we know what are the regulations, or if you're going to build a proper law forum for it to be regulated, right? So these are the types of regulations we actually have relating to AI. So in these 5 modes, we have first ethical guidelines. So when an AI system is developed, the AI system itself, these are ethical guidelines are not something we are supposed to follow. It's not by law, it's not binding. But usually when they develop an AI system, these ethical guidelines are something which everyone follows. Ethically, if in a company, if we consider for human beings, even if it's not in the rule book, we have to be good to each other. We have to be polite to each other. It's what the ethics we follow. So when we take an AI, for an AI also there are these ethical guidelines, wherein it follows that it will not disclose whoever is operating it. In some concerns, it won't actually say who is actually behind the screen or who is doing all this. Those are the ethical guidelines an AI will follow. When we come to legal framework, they are all the laws that we actually like Information and Technology Act we have in India, and some other acts. Every act that the Parliament itself frames for the regulation of AI is what legal framework comes under. Voluntary industry standards are wherein some AI developers and the AI systems will themselves have certain standards. For example, now we have all the technology to even create robots that can replace human beings. But till now, we are able to do it, but we are not doing it. That is what the industry standards are. They won't do it because it will replace humans. So there are certain standards that the industry people will they themselves follow. They'll wait for the right generation for the AI to even more develop. Then moratoriums and bans are wherein moratoriums are wherein for a certain period they'll ban certain AI. For example, in certain countries, the facial recognition AI is all banned. Certain countries have banned them entirely. In certain countries, it is for 5 years or 10 years. If it is within a short period of time, then it is called moratorium. Then certification schemes. Certification schemes is wherein the government or there are certain organizations which certifies each AI. If an AI is to be brought to the public domain, it has to be certified. So these certification schemes are wherein the organizations have certain guidelines. Only if the AI is able to satisfy such guidelines, these certification will be provided to them. So, history of AI regulation. AI was basically brought into public domain in the year 1950s. So, in 1950s, Alan Turing he publishes a computing machinery and intelligence paper. Then, following it, certain developments are being made. People are researchers are bringing forward about artificial intelligence. That's when in 1956 John McCarthy for the first time introduces the word artificial intelligence. So during those times and all, the AI was restrained to specific tasks. For example, the AI will be developed to playing chess or solving a particular mathematical problem. So it will follow certain rules, and it was restricted to limited specific instructions. So regulations was not very much essential during those days. So after that, during the 70s to 2000s, the AI kept developing. So the countries were in need of regulation. So they invested more in research to bring in regulations that can actually stop the AI developers or the AI industry from violating the rights of the people. So in the 2000s, after all these research came to an end, the different nations started developing different laws. That is what in European unions we have the General Data Protection Regulation Act. This act is mostly in all countries. So European unions, USA, even in India, we have Data Protection Act. So what these act will do is that when a personal data is provided to an AI system, how it is being collected, how it is being used is all regulated. Then we have California Consumer Privacy Act, wherein in California the residents are open to the right to know, the right to information about what kind of data is being collected from them. So in the recent times in 2019, there is the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, wherein transparency, there should be transparency, accountability, and human created values. These all may seem similar, but the AI systems keep developing year by year. As it keeps developing, these organizations and these acts that the governments bring in will bring specific laws that can provide specific relief to whatever rights or illegal use of the AI can be happening. So these Algorithm Accountability Act and European Union's proposed AI regulation is all recent acts which are acts and regulations which are being developed by the governments to bring in more specified legal framework to keep away from the risk of our privacy being exposed, or for the time being we are using AI for healthcare. It is going into too many domains. So if it is being used in a healthcare system, and if it is going to give a wrong diagnosis, then that is going to create a chaos. So to avoid such circumstances, they are bringing in more regulations. Next slide. So talking about Indian legal regulations, we have all these acts, and as I already discussed, these Copyright Act, if at all someone is developing AI, then Copyright Act and Patent Act comes into picture, wherein they have to include softwares and algorithms. There are specific algorithms and software that has to be used. If it only satisfies that, the AI will be accepted. And then in Patents Act, the AI related inventions, whatever inventions might that be, it has to be certified with the patent. And in Data Protection Bill, all are as I told before, all the data will be protected. Our personal data will be protected. It ensures that our data is in safe hands. Then we have, so these are the legal regulations we have. So on a broader picture, we have all these regulations. So how are we going to utilize these regulations? If at all the AI is violating some of our rights, or if at all there is some problem that is caused because of the AI, or there is something that we identify, what are we going to do? That is where the legal measures comes in. So we have a criminal complaint wherein we can, if an AI violates certain criminal laws, for example, there is some fraud, or there is hacking, or there is a data theft, then we will be using, we can make a criminal complaint to the authorities, specified authorities, law enforcement authorities, wherein they'll take action. Or if it is a civil suit, when it is a criminal, when it is against criminal laws, it's going to be a criminal complaint. When it's against civil laws, wherein your specified individual rights, or your individual feelings are being hurt, and there is nothing related to criminal side, then we will be filing a civil suit. Then after that, we have regulatory actions. Regulatory actions is wherein there will be regulatory bodies which will regulate AI systems. So if the AI violates certain regulations that has been already framed, these consumer protection or regulatory bodies will take action against the AI themselves. The regulatory bodies will themselves take it as a public responsibility to act against such things, and then they'll include fines, penalties for all such violations. So these are the provisions provided by the Information Technology Act. Relating to AI in India, we have Information Technology Act, so that these provisions will provide the remedies that we are actually looking for. So Section 43 gives a penalty for unauthorized access, hacking and all, and Section 66 deals with computer related penalties for computer related offenses. Section 43A holds liability for compensation if at all a security practice is being negligently dealt with, then we utilize this section. Then Section 70B empowers the Indian government to establish a national critical information infrastructure, wherein the information infrastructure of the company is under protection. Next. So if at all there is an issue in an AI system and you are detecting that there is a violation, what will you be doing? Who will you hold responsible? So these are the people whom you can hold responsible. For example, if there is a problem with the development itself, if you are asking for a question, and then the developer itself has provided that details, and that is actually violating your rights, then the developer will be held responsible. Or if it is in case of a healthcare issue and it is a diagnosis, then the operator, wherein the hospital authority or whoever is operating that AI will be held responsible. In certain cases, end users like us can also be held responsible for certain illegal actions while using AI-based systems. For example, if we use the AI system for any illegal activities, for drug dealing, or to get details to cause some illegal illegal activities, then we may be held responsible. Then regulatory bodies is wherein if the regulatory bodies, for example, if we are an AI system is approaching a regulatory body for certification, and even without the specified regulations being actually followed, if the regulatory body is going to certify the AI system, and due to it, it violates certain rights of the public, then the regulatory bodies can also be held responsible. So that's all with the regulations and also the measures. So to give you an example of real-time cases for what all people file cases, Google actually had a photo for that is it was about to detect. It is a photos app. It should be detecting who it is. So in 2015, a black woman actually filed a suit that stating that the Photos app actually mislabeled her as gorilla. Actually, the Google apologized to that lady and took proper steps to address the issue, or otherwise she might have actually claimed damages from the company. So these, when we look at it, it can look like a simple issue, but actually we can claim for certain these kind of issues also. If we feel violated in even a little way, we can actually approach the courts for remedies. So that's all I have to say. It is necessary that we focus on regulations. These regulations are important because we are moving forward into a future where AI might actually take over human race. So it is essential that when we use AI, we should be aware of the regulations and acts that are in place and also use it properly. Thank you.